I ask for the truth on behalf of Tracey Spencer concerning financial issues. And I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we just cut the deck for you there, Tracey, and where it splits, of course, where the deck splits is where it's thought to be at its most energetic point, and we just place it over here. And we're going to deal out 3 cards for you to see what's going on here. The first card is like the beginning, isn't it? Then we have the middle, and then the next one is the end. In this particular spread, of course, which is what it's called, each position in the spread has a like beginning, middle and end, literally in that sense. This is past, present and future. In this particular case, it's the recent past influence, the present influence and the immediate future influence. That being, the recent past and the immediate future are a moon phase apart, aren't they? A moon phase behind and a moon phase in front. About 3 or 4 weeks or so ago or ahead, with, of course, you in the middle there, Tracey Spencer in the middle there. Now, of course, it's about finances, so the meaning of each card, or how you interpret each card, will be relevant to the position, the past, present or future. In this first instance, of course, for example, it's your financial situation in the recent past, and then the meaning or interpretation of that card there will determine what's going on. We've asked on your behalf, sort of like in honour of you or whatever you want to call it there. So let's just flip this card nice and slow now, and let's see what Crow has to bring, what energy there, what magic there is for you, guidance or at least insight. Notice there we've got the Ace of Wands. That's got Aries, Sagittarius and Leo attached to it there, hasn't it? Wands. What's Wands? Well, Wands is related to the element of fire. When on the altar, of course, it's the wand which represents fire, and then of course you have the chalice, which is water, the athame or the sword or whatever, which is air, and then of course, and then the disc, which is earth, and then the 5th element, which is spirit, which is the lamp, which is what you see, which is like something in your mind's eye there, which is what you connect with. Anyway, less about the altar, but more about this here. Wands, yes, is fire, which is related to spiritual essence. Also, the number 1, because it's an ace, then that's a number 1, isn't it? So 1 is also related to fire, so it's like the fiery part of fire, the 1 of fire or whatever. Like a new beginning, you could say like a new flame beginning to burn, couldn't you, in that sense. Wands is to do with energy as well, because it's to do with the spirits of the south, where the sun transits the meridian. It's thought to be to do with energy, it's thought to be connected to energy. Whereas the east, where of course where it rises is space. And then you got energy in the south, and then of course where was water in the west, which is to do with with time, the passing of time, or one day or whatever, where the sun sets, and then of course everything rotates around the north, which is earthed and grounded there. In this case, of course, notice how the crow sort of points towards success of some kind. Maybe, although you seem as you say you're up to your eyeballs in debt, in that sense, when will all this come to an end? Nevertheless, there seems to be success. You seem to be ruling over it. I don't know if I've got a grip of it, but certainly you seem to be ruling over it in that sense. And notice also why I'm locking onto it, I don't know. Just looking at this card, noticing the yellow of the gut chakra, as if you're feeling it sort of there, you know, in the gut, whatever's going on. That could be just me as I'm looking at the card and just getting things from it as I look at the card itself. But of course, in essence, you have ruled over, you have had some success over the recent past, within the past 3 or 4 weeks or so between now and this time, sort of last month you could say. You did have some sort of success, you did have some sort of command or rule over the situation. So maybe, I don't know if you spent too much or whatever, but you're up to your eyeballs in debt, so it appears now. So things were okay before. Now remember, of course, nothing is permanent, so this too shall pass, in the sense of if things are bad, then they'll get better, and of course if things are good, don't take it for granted, because they'll get worse again. It's the cycles, isn't it, as you could say. I want to now move on to the middle card here, which is the present, isn't it? So I want to just rotate that round now, like that, and we'll just flip it and just see what energy there, nice and slow. Notice you've got the Devil, which is a major arcana card. Your recent past was energised by a minor arcana card, which is the suits of air, fire, water and earth, in this case fire. But of course the Devil has got a Capricorn energy attached to it there. The Devil is a major arcana card. So with minor arcana energies you're able to change, so you're able to change it in the sense of just recently you did have the ability to bring change, to probably prevent the debt that you're in now, maybe even. But now of course you're not able to do that. But it seems to be right now, maybe the reason you're in debt is because of the Devil's energy. In this particular case it's to do with temptation, it's to do with being lured into a situation maybe that is not in your best of interests. I don't know if you've fallen to a con man or whatever, if you've fallen for a scam or something. I honestly don't know what's been going on here, but certainly the Devil is often known as the naughty card as well. Within thy right eye create all for thyself, and within the left accept all that created otherwise. So you can do what you want, you can create what you want as best as you can, but for anything else you just have to just accept it and for what it is. But either way, in the Crowley deck you have the testicles of the Devil there, which can sort of symbolise the potential negativity or whatever that can be born, that can be sort of conceived or given birth to or whatever, with the goat of Mandy's there, whatever. But in this case the crow's magic tends to focus more on that sort of that magnetism that one has got towards something right now, whatever it is you've been lured towards. It could be even if it's gambling or buying too much off the internet or something like that. Anything that'll drain you of your resources and put you into debt. I got a funny feeling, of course, this could be something a bit more serious, something that you did have control over, remember, before, with the Aries, the Sagittarius, the magical Sagittarius, and the controlling energy of Leo there. Of course, you did have control over it, so there's no excuse for this at all. I want to now move on to the next card for your immediate future. I want to see what actually happens. Remember, the Devil is there to be resisted. The Devil is the devil within, the 666, the human number. It represents you, the most negative side of yourself, and resist her and she shall flee from thee. Let us now rotate this next card, flip this next card nice and slow, not to disturb the energy. and then let's see what we've got there. You've got the 6 of Wands. The number 6 is often related to analysis, and more wands, remember, from success and rule to victory. The Lord of Victory. This is a victor. This is an archetype that's there between now and this time next month, around about sort of end of January, February time, indicating that you can come through the fog, through the mist to the other side. Notice the bear spirit. The bear is the 4-legged ones, walks the earth, protects. 4-legged spirits protect. Notice the birds here. The bird people carry the messages. They carry the messages from the heavens to the earth. They are the guides. So although you've had success and rule just recently, nevertheless this magnetism, this thing that's lured you in, has been a form of guidance in a way. Maybe it's come in that sort of form of guidance, and it's come in the guise of guidance, and you've fallen for it, hook, line and sinker. But either way, the bear is there also to represent boundaries, to help you know what your boundaries are, what are healthy boundaries and what are unhealthy boundaries. From a financial point of view, of course, that's just knowing what sort of budgeting, really, isn't it, in that sense, but just keeping healthy boundaries with your finances, and of course not being a pushover, knowing how far to go, so if you get what I mean. So it's knowing how far to take it before saying, hello, hang on, it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's got a beak like a duck and waddles like a duck and flaps its wings like a duck. It must be a bloody duck. Not what you were saying it is. But nevertheless, I'll believe what you say it is for now, because I like the idea of what you were putting over. That's no good. If the fact that you like the idea of what it is, just for the sake of, that's no good. I got a funny feeling as though somebody's taken your money from you. Yes, okay, in the sense we've spent our money and we've given it to somebody else and they've taken it. In that sense, we've given it away. But I got a funny feeling somebody's taken it, lured it away in some con or scam or something, maybe. I just get that. I don't know why. I just sort of keep going back to that in this particular scenario. But either way, your immediate future, there will be victory, and you will be able to sit back and analyse the energy. The 6, of course, any number between 4 and 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. They had to do with the element of water, so you could say the watery part of fire, as if something's quenching the fire in that sense. But of course, it's analysing what's going on. And I suppose that's what the victory is, and analysing the energy so far, just taking a breather after the 5 of the loss, before the weakness of the 7 and the challenge of the 8 and the peak of the 9 after, which leads to the wearing out of the 10, which then comes full circle for that. But that's by and by. For now, let's just focus on knowing your boundaries and just knowing where to stop, if at all. I can't really go any further than what we've got. Will you get out of debt? If so, it'll be between now and this time next month, when you focus on the boundaries that are there, and you'll learn to say no, sorry, I can't afford, I can't have. It's as simple as that. But for now, while now exists, and as we've said before, resist the devil and she shall flee from thee. But for now, the darkness that Crow has revealed, let us hope that you can be carried into the light. These cards have spoken.